It seems like this is Hugh Freeze's time of year. The closer you get to December, the closer you get to putting pen to paper. Hugh Freeze gets hot. Right now, Auburn has the number 16 ranked recruiting class, and it helps when you flip a guy like top 247 edge, Jamon Waller, out of the state of Mississippi from Billy Napier in the Florida Gators. Auburn seizing right now all the opportunity and momentum that they can. You also add in 2025 top 247 tight end Ryan Gia, number 234 in the top 247, number 12 tight end from Milton High School in Georgia. Drew, Auburn, right now, team to watch. You mentioned last year. How about this? Top 247 edge, Keldrick Falk, a guy they flipped from Florida State. Connor Liu, the interior offensive lineman, the center, who has played a lot of snaps for him this season from Miami. And Kayan Lee from Ohio State. Those aren't programs that are just out there that were, hey, we got to hang on to these guys. Those are three really prominent programs in the country. Auburn right now, Drew, like I said earlier, it just seems to kind of be like this is their time. They seem to be a team to watch over the next couple weeks.
Well, I would say, is there a more dangerous school to watch down the stretch? I mean, maybe there's a few others out there, but I got my eye on Auburn, and I've been saying that really since the summer months. I mean, they've had their coals in the fire with a number of different guys. Saturday night, they go ahead and flip Jamon Waller. I think the Gators are about to kick off there in LSU. I was wonder how Billy Napier and his staff found out that they lost the pass rusher. Look, Jamon Waller, this is a guy who can get after the quarterback. He's kind of got tweener measurables, but we saw him at the Under Armour camp in Atlanta. Once he changed directions, bended when coming around the corner, he's a guy that we really like, and he's someone I think could get on the field early on the plains just as a pass rusher in certain situations. So that's a monster pickup. And then, Coop, the other interesting thing, Jason Caldwell from our Auburn 247 site, he wrote earlier this week that there's a few other 5 stars Auburn's, tracking here down the stretch. Cam Coleman, the in-state wide receiver who's committed to Texas A&M, he's one you got to keep an eye on. L.J. McCray, the 5-star defensive lineman, he took a visit over the weekend to FSU. We know what Florida is going through right now. We're going to talk to them about them later in the show. And then Jeremiah Beeman, another guy from the Yellowhammer State. And there's a few more out there. So I'm excited to see what Auburn can do. Hugh Freeze right now, 6-4. They got a game coming up this weekend against New Mexico State. You move to 7-4. And then you got the Iron Bowl against Alabama. Who knows what's going to happen there? But if you could say Hugh Freeze, year one, 7-5, right? That's a ton of momentum. And I think every Auburn fan would be fired up about the direction the program is headed. I think that's, again, going to give them plenty of momentum on the recruiting trail and then also in that transfer portal.
I'm not even going to discount him against Alabama. That's a crazy rivalry. We've seen crazy things happen there, but I agree with you. Opportunity to get to 8 for Hugh Freeze after everything that program has kind of been through under Brian Harsin in the last 2 years would be a huge win for Hugh Freeze. Drew, not to mention, I don't want to gloss over this. We put up 3 names there, right? And Cam Coleman and L.J. McCray and Jeremiah Beeman. All 3 of those guys are in the top 247. But how about Cam Coleman? We talked about Cam Coleman from the state of Alabama, Phoenix City Central, that the fit there for him, we thought, was Auburn, right? And you think about what Hugh Freeze has done at the receiver position. You go back to his time at Ole Miss. You think about guys like DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, big, physical, strong receivers, guys with a lot of developmental upside. I think he fits there. And Drew, why I'm thinking about it, what about Auburn for Dante Moore if he ends up hitting the portal, right? They don't have their long-term answer yet. We love Walker White, but he's a ways away. So we'll see if Auburn's going to be active there as well. Interesting spot. Hugh Freeze has done a really good job at the quarterback position. L.J. McCray, though, Drew, how big would that one be if Auburn was going to find a way to get that one done?
Yeah, pairing him opposite of Keldrick Falk. I think the other thing that stands out about Auburn's recruiting class right now with, 6 weeks to go before the early signing period is who they have gone head-to-head with. Perry Thompson, 5-star wide receiver, big body frame. You want to talk about a DK Metcalf mold. Perry Thompson looks just like that. We kind of call him a man-child. Well, they beat out Alabama for him. Then you got Joseph Phillips, DeMarcus Riddick. Those were 2 front 7 defenders that Georgia was in heavy on. Auburn got that. And then they've already beat Florida for Jamon Waller. So we'll see what else they can pry away. But again, I think times are good right now at Auburn, and I think they're going to have an exciting finish like we saw last cycle, and I think that's going to parlay into the transfer portal as well.